Welcome to today's class. Myself K. Manjula, Assistant Professor of Physics, Dr. BRR Government Degree College, Jadchalra, Mahabubnagar district. In this today's class, let us start new chapter, that is optics. In this optics, let us discuss about aberrations. Okay, let us start our aberrations. In these aberrations, we are going to discuss these contents. That is, first one is reason for arising of aberrations, deviation produced by a lens, dispersive power of a material of a prism, types of aberrations, chromatic aberration, and calculation of chromatic aberration. Before going to discuss these aberrations, let us discuss about some assumptions in our optical system. Suppose say if we consider any optical system, here you are observing this optical system in this slide. See here, this is the optical system. This is a lens. In this lens, this is the object. The rays which are coming from this object are incidenting on this lens. After incidenting, they get refracted and converge at one point, and we get image. Here, one assumption is that all rays we are not considering here. Only the paraxial rays we are considering. Paraxial rays are nothing but, see here, I have denoted this paraxial rays with numbers, that is 3 and 4. That is the rays which will make small angles with this principal angle. The rays which are incidenting on the lens system with less height are known as a paraxial rays. Means only these two rays are responsible for forming of images. The remaining we are not considering the marginal rays. Marginal rays means the rays which are incidenting on the lens with more height or by making a greater angle with the principal axis. So these are 1, 2. These are denoted by 1, 2 rays are marginal rays. Here we are omitting these marginal rays. Even though we placed the object here at O, all rays we are not considering. We assumed that only the paraxial rays are take part in the image formation. So this is one assumption. Next, another assumption is the aperture of the lens is small. This part, the entrance of this, even though we consider a big lens, but we consider the aperture of the lens is very small. Similarly, the images we are getting were perfect, but this is not true. We can't get any perfect 100% perfect image in the universe. Similarly, all rays emanating from a single object point converged to a single image point. Here, if this is object, we get we assumption that this is only one image point, but this is not also true. Similarly, if we consider the thin lens, these assumptions may be true, but in place of the thin lens means the thickness is considered to be 0. Here t is equal to 0. But in place of this thin lens, if we consider some thick lens, we have to consider this thickness also. Then the image formation will be changes. So, but these are all known as some assumptions. By assuming these we study about these images. But this is not always true. So, for that purpose, let's see. Due to that reason, see here. But in actual practice, more non-paraxial rays also take part. Non-paraxial rays means marginal rays. Marginal rays also takes part in the formation of image. So Next, even the thin lens will have some thickness. Just now I have told, that is, if we consider a thick lens, we have to consider the thickness of that lens also. So that one. Next, again and again we say that for consider a point object, consider a point object. But these point objects are introduced only for the theoretical purposes. This is not for practical purpose. Similarly, so if we consider thick lens and these are all the refractive index. So for this purpose, the refractive index, this mu, refractive index changes, and the focal length also changes, and this that means refractive index, focal length varies with the wavelength of the incident light. So that's what we can't get a clear image of the object. So thus, if light coming from an object non-chromatic means white light. If we consider let's suppose say this is a lens system, this is a white, this is object. If this object is illuminated with white light, what happened? The image, this is principal axis, the image is a group of various colors, because white light splits into its 7 constant colors. So that is due to this reason the image is a colored image. The image formed with different colors. So this is also one defect in the image. So due to this reason we can't get a clear image of a point object. So we get a blurring of images, means we get a blurring of images formed by single lens, and so that purpose the resulting image loses its actual sharpness and deviate from its ideal image. So this means totally the image is formed with different types of defects. So this is known as a aberration. Simply aberration is nothing but a defect in the images. So that's see here, if you are observing one optical system is here, say this is a lens system, this is an object, the rays are incidenting on the lens system like this. After incidenting, they gets refracted as well as split into 7 colors, but these 7 colors does not meet at a single point. You are observing different rays are converging at a different point, here and here. Here at this point, due to the more refraction of the rays which are violet color, the violet color meet at nearer to the lens. So here we get one image, whereas the red color rays meet at a fairer point. So that there will get another image, and between these 2 points different colors of images are formed. So totally the image is not clear. So the image is blurred with different colors. Means the image loses its actual shape, size like this. So this is known as an aberration. So this is about a lens system, how the defect is formed. So that is coming to the definition of this aberration. The deviations from the actual size, shape and position of an image are called aberrations. These aberrations or defects are 2 types depending upon the due to light and due to optical system, and depending upon the light which is incidenting and depending upon the optical system. Let us discuss due to light. Due to light means this aberration arises due to the incidenting of white light, is known as a chromatic aberration. That is, if the light is not monochromatic, that means simply a white light. If the light is a white light, then the image becomes, just now we have discussed, that is, the image becomes multicolored, and the defect is known as a chromatic aberration. Similarly, if we use instead of white light, even though we use the monochromatic light, several defects are formed in the image. These are known as a monochromatic aberration. These monochromatic aberrations arises due to the arrangement of the optical system and the internal structure of the lens. So these let us discuss these chromatic aberrations and monochromatic aberrations clearly. See here, these are the aberrations are of two types, that is chromatic aberration. So that is due to light, that is chromatic aberration. Due to optical system, that is monochromatic aberration. Again, these monochromatic aberrations are 5 types. Those are spherical aberration. Those are spherical aberration, coma, astigmatism, distortion and curvature. These monochromatic aberrations are depends upon the optical system. Let us discuss about this first chromatic aberration. Chromatic means when we use a white light to illuminate the object, how this chromatic aberration forms. So before going to discuss this chromatic aberration, let us know about the deviation produced by the lens. Because this defects, this aberrations depends upon the deviation produced by the lens also. So let us know how much deviation is produced, on which factors this deviation depends. For this purpose, let us again take an optical system. Say this is the optical system, this is a lens, this is a the object is placed at a distance u at point O. This is the object distance. We are measuring away from the lens at left side. See, and consider the focal length of this lens is f. After that, the OP is the light ray. So this is the light ray which strikes this lens system at height h. You are observing is here. After incidenting, the light ray gets refracted and converged at the point. So at the image eye is formed, another type of the lens. So here deviation means the angle between the actual path of this light ray and the refracted ray. This is the refracted. So this is known as a deviation. This is denoted by delta. So by seeing this, you can see that is the angle, the incident angle is making alpha with the principal axis of the lens. Here this is alpha, and similarly the refracted ray is making beta angle. To calculate this deviation, see here, the angle between the extended incident ray and the refracted ray alpha and beta. See, in above figure, angle POC is nothing but alpha. Similarly, at the image side, angle PIC can be written as beta. By the mathematical laws, if delta is the exterior angle of the triangle OPI, this is equal to the sum of interior angles. So therefore, we can written as delta is equal to first equation. Delta is equal to, you can write as a alpha plus beta. Just now see here. See here, this is the delta, where this is delta 1. See here, this is delta. Delta must be equal to sum of interior angles. This is alpha plus beta. If we consider this is as a triangle, the exterior angle must be equal to the sum of interior angle. Delta is equal to alpha plus beta. Again, this alpha, beta are very small. Alpha is considered to be a tan alpha, and beta is considered to equal to tan beta. Next, by seeing this figure, what is tan alpha? Here, tan alpha in this figure, you can say that is opposite side by adjacent side, that is h by u. Similarly, here u is the object distance. Similarly, another side of this image, that is tan beta, we can write it h by v. Here v is the image distance, u is the object distance, and v is the image distance. So after writing this in this equation, that is from triangles POC and PIC, we can write that is alpha is equal to h by u, and beta is equal to h by v. So by substituting this alpha and beta in this equation, that is delta is equal to alpha plus beta. So this delta is equal to h by u plus h by v. Here we have to apply sign convention, where suppose this is a lens system, this is a principal axis, we have placed our object here, so we are measuring from the lens. So this u should be taken as a negative value, and v is in the direction of light ray, so v is taken as a positive, like this. So by placing this sign convention, we get delta is equal to h by v minus h by u. Delta is equal to, next step, delta is equal to h by v minus h by u. Next, by taking h as a common, delta is equal to h into 1 by v minus 1 by u. Here, what about this 1 by v minus 1 by u? The lens formula by using 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So by substituting in place of this 1 by v minus 1 by u, we get delta is equal to, that is deviation. Deviation is nothing but the h by f. That is the final equation for the deviation produced by the lens. That means what you understand from this deviation equation. So the deviation depends upon two factors. That is, one is delta is directly proportional to h, and delta is indirectly proportional to the focal length. So that is so for that purpose, let us discuss the dependent factors of deviation. So deviation produced by a lens is the ratio of what? That is ratio of h by f. That is ratio of the height at which the light ray strikes the lens to the focal length of the lens. That is h by f. Here delta is directly proportional to height which light ray strikes. So if h increases, deviation also increases. Similarly, that is if delta is indirectly proportional to the focal length of the lens. So if f increases, deviation decreases. So that means the rays which are incidentting on the lens system does not meet at one point. So due to this reason, that is deviation occurs. That is h changes, f also changes. So that that's why we get defects in the image formation. So that is the deviation depends on these two factors, and another thing is that is deviation does not depends upon the object position. Here deviation is independent of the object position, you have to, that is object position here. That is, so this is about deviation. Next, let us know about the dispersion. Dispersion through a prism. I think you have familiar with the dispersion. Just recall this one. Dispersion means, dispersion is the phenomena in which when the white light incidenting on this prism, it splits it into its 7 constituent colors. That is VIBGR. Violet, here you are observing, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. This is known as a dispersion. The colors which we formed, this is known as a electromagnetic spectrum or simply spectrum. See here, this is the white. Here why we are getting this different colors means the refractive index, that is the refractive index changes with the wavelength. That is, the refractive index depends upon the wavelength of the color. So different colors have different wavelength. So the different due to the different refractive indexes, where here violet color, so the violet color, the refractive index is more, so the violet color gets more refracted here. Similarly, the red color has less refractive index, so that we get a red color is up here. So in between these two colors we get different colors with the different refractive indexes. So this is this is the story of this dispersion. Next, let us define and derive some simple equation for dispersive power of a material of a prism. What is dispersive power? Here the deviation and refractive index of the yellow color, we get this spectrum, that is VIBGR. Out of these 7 colors, we consider this yellow color, the deviation and refractive index of the yellow color is taken as a mean value of this violet and red. So similar here, one thing remember, that is this refractive index is indirectly proportional to the lambda. See here, refractive index is indirectly proportional to lambda. So means if wavelength increases, mu decreases. Similarly, another if the refractive index of the medium decreases with decreases in wavelength, the medium is referred as a anomalous dispersive medium. So this case we are not taking actually. So that is next, the deviations produced by the prism for different color is different because refractive index varies. Similarly, the difference, that is angular dispersion. This is the difference between the angle of deviation of any two colors. Suppose say mu v minus mu r gives the angular dispersion. That means delta v minus delta r gives the angular dispersion. Suppose if you take two colors, another one, that is violet. See, suppose if you take the deviation of violet color and deviation of red color, this gives the angular dispersion of these two colors only. If you take a green and red, like a green and red, yellow and red, orange, blue, like this, the difference between the deviations, this is the angular dispersion. So this angular dispersion depends on the refractive index of the material of the prism and the refractive angle. Let us derive an equation for dispersive power. For this one, suppose say we are considering the two colors same, that is angle of deviation for the blue rays, say that is delta B. See here, this is the angle of deviation, that is delta B. Similarly, angle of deviation for red rays, say that is delta R. Similarly, their refractive index is, that is mu P. That is refractive index of blue ray. Similarly, refractive index of red ray. These are the refractive index of a prism. Already we know, that is mu is equal to sine of A plus D by 2 by sine A by 2. Here we considering one assumption here. If we take a small angle prism, then deviation can be written by this equation, that is if P, that is mu is equal to sine of A plus D by 2, mu averagely equal to A plus D by 2 by A by 2. If we simplify this equation, we get deviation as delta is equal to mu minus 1 into A. So here we get, for small angle prism, the deviation can be written as delta is equal to mu minus 1 into A. Just apply this equation for blue rays and red rays. For blue rays, this can be written as delta B is equal to mu B minus 1 into A. Similarly, for red rays, delta R is equal to mu R minus 1 into A. Therefore, angular separation. Angular separation is nothing but difference between this deviation. So, that is delta B minus delta R can be written as mu B minus 1 into A minus mu R minus 1 into A. By making A cancel, we get mu B minus mu R into A, or delta B minus delta R is equal to mu B minus mu R into A. So, say this is second equation. Just now we have discussed the mean deviation. We consider the mean deviation as yellow light. So, if delta B is the angle of deviation for the mean ray, that is yellow light, and mu is the refractive index, for that yellow ray we can write this third equation, that is delta is equal to mu minus 1 into A. After that, let us divide this equation. Let us divide this equation 2 by equation 3. We get delta B minus delta R by delta, that is mu B minus mu R by mu minus 1. Here this mu B minus mu R by mu minus 1 is known as a dispersive power omega of the material, that is material of a prism. It is constant for these two colors only. If we take another two colors, we substitute those refractive index according to this formula. See here how we get this formula, that is here delta B minus delta R here, that is substituting this second equation in this dividing, we get this final equation mu B minus mu R by mu minus 1, dispersive power. So, this is the actual dispersive power mathematical form, that is, so this is the dispersive power. So, that is omega is equal to mu B minus mu R by mu minus 1 is equal to delta B minus delta R by delta. So, in wordings we can define this dispersive power as dispersive power, this one. Dispersive power is the power of the medium of which the prism is made for given two colors is defined as the ratio between angular separation and the mean deviation when light is dispersed at an angle of minimum deviation by a prism of small angle. So, this is a definition of dispersive power. This can be written as omega is equal to delta B minus delta R by delta is equal to mu B minus mu R by mu minus 1 is equal to this. Mu B minus mu R can be written as d mu. That is, d mu is known as a small change in the refractive index. So that is d mu by mu minus. Simply we can write the dispersive power as d mu by mu minus 1. So this is the dispersive power of a prism. This one, this is the dispersive power. Next, let us discuss about chromatic aberration. So chromatic means group of that is chrome of different colors. So that is known, chrome means different group of different colors. So that here if you are observing an optical system here, so this is the object. So this is the lens, this is the lens, this is the object, the rays. So this chromatic aberration is formed when the object is illuminated by white light only. So that is important here. So that white light, that is non-monochromatic light. So when this object is illuminated by white light, the rays coming from this object incidenting on this lens system the rays here, the rays are incidenting on this lens system. After incidenting, they get refracted and they split into the 7 constant colors. Out of these 7 constant colors, just now we have discussed that the refractive index of violet rays is more than the refractive index of this red color rays. So after refracting, these violet color light rays converge to nearer point to the lens system, whereas the red color rays converge to farer point to the lens system. In between, different colors converge according to their refractive index. So this is violet color image, this is red color image. In between, different colors of images are formed. Totally this image is chrome of different colors, group of different colors. So totally the image is not clear. The image loses its shape, loses its actual object. So this is known as a chromatic aberration. So this is the how the chromatic aberration is formed. So this next here, this is see, in case of this two types of lenses, that is, this is a convex lens, this is a concave lens. In case of this convex lens, this, see here, when the white light is coming from the object which is placed at infinite distance, the rays are considered to be parallel rays. So the rays after incidenting on the lens system converge at different points. Here you get that is violet color image and red color image. So that is focal length of violet and this is focal length of red color rays. So this is violet color image and red color image. So this chromatic aberration for this convex lens is taken as a positive. So this, whereas just observe, you in this slide you are observing, that is, this is a concave lens. Concave lens is the diverging lens, whereas convex lens is the converging lens. So in this concave lens, see here, similarly the rays diverging from the concave lens system here. So it's in the same situation, the violet color rays diverge from this point Similarly, the red color diverges from this point. This is the chromatic aberration for this concave lens, but it is taken as a negative. So this is because this is opposite to the passing of this light rays, whereas in this is in the direction of light rays. So that's what this is the chromatic aberration in case of convex lens and concave lens. In this class we have discussed, just to recall these contents what we have learned, that is reason for arising of aberrations. Aberrations are nothing but the defects in the images. So we can't get a 100% perfect image, because when we consider a optical system, some assumptions are made. That is, only paraxial rays take part in the image formation, the aperture of a lens is small, and all rays coming from a single object point converge to a single image point. Similarly, the thickness we have not considered. That means we consider thin lens and thick lens as both are same, but this is not true in all cases. So that purpose we get the aberrations. So aberrations are nothing but, these are the definition, the deviations from the actual size, shape and position of an image are called as aberrations. These aberrations are two types, that is due to light and due to monochromatic light, or due to optical system. So these are known as a chromatic aberration. When the object is illuminated with white light, we get chromatic aberration, or instead of white light, if we use monochromatic light, even though we get the defects due to the optical system. That depends upon the lens and the position of object, like this. So totally these monochromatic aberrations are 5 types, that is spherical aberration, coma, astigmatism, distortion, curvature. Like similarly we discussed about this deviation produced by lens system is say this is object O, so this is object is O, and image is formed here at I. So here the deviation is nothing but the angle between the actual path of light ray and the refracted ray is known as a deviation, this delta. By seeing this figure you can understand that delta must be equal to alpha plus beta. So here that is the simple first equation, delta is equal to alpha plus beta. This alpha can be written as, can be assumed to, that must be equal to tan alpha. Similarly beta is equal to tan beta. Then tan alpha can, by figure, by triangles, by seeing these triangles POC and PIC, we can write this alpha as h by u, beta is also h by v. Substituting these two equations above, two terms in above first equation, we get delta is equal to h by u plus h by v. Applying sign conversion, that is u will be minus value, u will be negative, v will be positive. So totally the equation h delta is equal to h by v minus h by u. Delta is equal to h into 1 by v minus 1 by u. 1 by v minus 1 by u is the lens formula, that is 1 by f can be written as 1 by v minus 1 by u. So final equation for deviation, delta is equal to h by f. So the deviation depends upon the height and the focal length. Deviation is produced by lens is the ratio of the height at which a light ray strikes the lens system to the focal length of the lens, h by f. Means this deviation is directly proportional to the height which light ray strikes and the focal length of the indirectly proportional to the focal length of the lens. Deviation is independent of the position of the object. So that one. Next, coming to the dispersion, the splitting of white light into its 7 constant colors is known as a dispersion. This is the, if we get this is known as a spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum, that is white light. When we use white light, this is not an electromagnetic spectrum. So this, when the white light incident on the prism, this white light after refraction, this white light is splits into 7 colors. This electro EM spectrum is different from this one. So that is next. Dispersive power. Dispersive power is defined as, that is omega is equal to mu b minus, so that is d mu by mu minus 1. That means omega can be written as delta b minus delta r by delta, that is mu b minus mu r by mu minus 1 is equal to d mu by mu minus 1. Next, chromatic aberration. This is today's in this chromatic aberration in case of convex lens and in case of concave lens. This is today's class. Let us continue tomorrow the remaining part of this lesson.